Hello traders, and welcome at this new Bitcoin video for technical analysis, Orderflow, Onchain and macro. This is my first video of 2026. I will be resuming my work because I had very large holiday. We already are trading with the group since 6th of January, but right now this is the best time when I want to make the new video. We need to go over many important things. I also want to wish you Happy New Year, and I hope you will reach all your goals and all the plans you have for 2026, and I hope it's gonna be great year for you. So we have lots to go over. I want to show you technical analysis. I want to show you what the Bitcoin is trying to do. I will be showing you some scalp trades I was taking, some day trades with the Exocharts and Orderflow, so you will learn from direct examples. I will be showing you the current pump we had, how you were anticipating this pump to the upside, and you also had very nice short in the week, only with the beautiful order flow template. I'll be showing you some macro data, and we can prepare some areas where it's interesting to short or long Bitcoin. So it's going to be complex video, definitely I would say 60 minutes. So let's really start. Let's not waste time. So first thing I want to tell you, you can literally open my video from 3 weeks back, and I told you two important things. The first thing I told you, we have the biggest option expiry of the 2025, and once it expires, the put and pressure from Bitcoin market will be off. So we were building longs all Christmas holidays. I was telling our traders to be in that. Look at the option expiry here on 26th of December. Since that moment, relief, and then huge pump to the upside, pullback, one more chance to get in, and then another push to the upside because we started new year inflows. So you see, options we will use very extensively in 2026, especially from in the second quarter of 2026 and moving forward. I already every single day I'm posting on options because Bitcoin is getting institutionalized and is getting more like traditional asset, and in traditional finance and banking and asset classes, options are super important part of that analysis. They literally have the smartest money in the world predicting where price goes. So you cannot ignore this. This is new edge and it's very powerful. So option expiry, boom. Just check a previous video from me. I was explaining it more deeply. And then I also told our traders I expect new year inflows to come into Bitcoin. This was also based on statistical evidence. When Bitcoin is, look at the 2014, I'm only checking midterm years because we are right now in midterm year where there will be new elections for Senate in the US, and we tend to be more choppy or get larger pullbacks in midterm years. And even during midterm years in 2014, Bitcoin was pushing to the upside first few days, as this is daily chart. 2018, this was unconfirmed bear market. Actually, it was already bear market because, no, it was unconfirmed because we later on started it is 2018, yeah. But we've seen also a few days of inflows of 2018, and then 2022, the lightest cycle, we see only one day of inflows, and then we started turning to the downside. That's, by the way, very bearish when you open year like that. First 5 days of the year telling you what can be the sentiment for the first quarter of the year. If you see money flooding away these first few days, this is a very bad sign. Crypto actually is pumping for the past few years. Each time we open new year, there is so many money on the sidelines from many rich people who don't know what to do with the money. They just buy crypto as well because it's very strong asset class. So I was absolutely not surprised, and I think I was mentioning the new year inflows for you in my previous video as well. So you can see here from 1st of January we had that huge influx to the upside. So overall my positioning was to be more greedy, and I was positioning much more longs to the upside. Even on new year inflows, if you were not aware of the option, you had initial move to the upside for 8%, then you got a nice pullback, previous range was retested, we were looking for longs here. So it was actually my first day I was giving traders to be in longs on the pullback. We had multiple more, but already first one was pretty strong, and then we are getting another impulse and potentially leaving this range. So beautiful price action for swing traders. You are just building that long, and now that's like pretty starting point. And now we can go for trades I want to show you I was taking with with our tools, and then we go to on technical analysis. Just want to show you. I'll be also covering the latest pump. Everything is here. You can see this was 12th of January, so 2 days back. I was longing many trades. I'm giving traders pretty fast. I was longing 90k. Take profit one was pretty quick just to earn a full stop loss, and then it started. You can see we had safe haven inflows into Bitcoin. Also equities were pushing with the open drive. It was like first main reason for entry. Safe haven inflows were coming from Fed independence danger. I don't think it's likely Fed will ever be non-independent, but market with gold was reacting. So this was more of a like after a New York session open, we were just positioning into long. Plus you did at that region, we can go to 5-minute time frame. Here 90k, you did swing failure pattern of this low, and you especially of this low, of the Sunday low. So Sunday low was taken the liquidity, and then we started big push to the upside. So that was crucial because we often go for the weekend low and high and then reverse. Market just want to sniff it out. So you've got that also pretty simple entry. I just want to show you what happened after we were entering into trade. You see very strong, like you've got lots of shorts coming into the downside, moving to the lows of that range, and then they started rebuying back. So this was initial impulse. Also spot market was buying, so it was cool. We were also aiming, because I'm just showing you this entry because this could be your entry for 96k actually if you kept it, yes. And you see like that big shorts build up in this region. Yeah, open interest was increasing, also plenty of longs. But when you were pushing out of such low, you really needed to accept into this inefficiency to accelerate, move to the upside. When you start feeling it, that's really great. And that's what we actually got a bit later on. Equity is pushing heavily, so it's helping us. Yeah, here is the inefficiency. Initial push was done, and then we get a secondary acceptance and we started pushing to the upside. So just want to show you that juicy trade I was having exposure. And there will be one breakdown from the order flow. This is one of the reasons I'm showing you that. So when you were pushing outside of that, let me remind you again, yeah, we talk about here, about this box, and when you push to the upside, you have only two options pretty much, because Bitcoin and any asset can go up and down, right? You can be hammered back into the range and you will go down, and you will just range in the local range. There is not enough power to break out. Or you can do bullish breakout, because some traders were trading local swing value pattern for us, but you actually did bullish breakout and bullish backtest of that range. And when you're in long here as me, you want to see that. And for that you really need Exocharts breakdown, which I made here for traders. Because we were watching and we were trapping pretty big shorts. Yes, open interest was increasing with heavy delta into the lows of the range or general distribution of the range. So when you are breaking out of that range, you want to hold on backtest. These people, they will become your order flow support. There was first line, he was pretty nice short. And that's what we actually held. We didn't even go into the yellow zone. Yellow zone was even stronger. Oftentimes you see deeper pullback, and you had more shorts in this yellow zone. It could still hold you at 90,400s. Never got that. It's okay. We just pushed higher from the higher region, even better for me. So you always prepare and watch how is the market positioning, because remember, 90% of market are people who need to act. And who are those people? Those people are people who enter in the current session. They are forced to act, not someone who is long at 85k or who is short at 100k. These people need to act. So you have to pay extreme attention to that every single day. That's the first trade. We had also scalp short. Again, you see I'm teaching people using this template extensively, because this is scalper's super strong template on Exocharts, super good clarity. So that was nice short when we were pushing out of that range. What's the date? It's same day, I think. Yeah, it is same day. It's just a few hours later. You know, bulls were in control here. Positive delta flip, just heavy buying, shorts closing, long closing, everybody closing. But now this candle comes, and this is your reversal candle. Heavy volume, heavy delta, almost 40% of the candle negative. These people pretty much force you to push away from from the high. Yeah, they're trying to reverse the market. So you don't want to see market moving above that candle. That's your invalidation already. You'll be just invalidated for tight stop loss. And that was also your entry point. Or you can be trading the, you know, candles who are trying to retest that candle and they are failing with the acceptance. It's up to you. But then you've got that nice trade. You also see when we pushed out of that range, we rotated, like we've had so many short and longs position in this region. Now you already did full open interest round trip. So lots of force buying from the trap shorts is done and lots of longs also closed. That is giving you room for pause. And when you go to chart, we've had, let me check here. Here you can see we already got pretty big pullback, so it was excellent short and the trigger was very clean with the Exocharts. You see over 1% move to the downside. Again, one of the reasons is the open interest just like stopped buying because these people who need to act are now out of the market, and then if you don't get new spot flows, you tend to get a pullback. So excellent entry. And how was market? That was, yeah, here 1741. We also saw first flip in the spot market. Yeah, I'm commenting everything like how the trade is developing. That's one of the main benefits of the group when you are with us. Always see step-by-step price action. We also saw spot market was no longer buying. Yes, and they are flipping negative. That's another friendly you know, thing you want to see when you are in short. Plus you see there was like lots of sell service. These sell walls are from ETFs on Coinbase, and they are heavily exhausting market. There is like even much more sell side pressure above, so this is all exhausting market and we are going into the nice pullback. Like 40 minutes later I hit take profit 1, just beautiful reaction. Look at that reaction, okay? Wow, yeah, boom to the downside. You know what is crazy? Like this year, since the beginning of the year, I had no losing trade, public trade, which I was giving to the group as well. So I'm just holding this winning stick because I can identify these high reversal points, high probability trades with the template. Once you know the you know, system for the Exocharts template, it's very hard to be burnt. So that was another trade. We have also scalp short 2 here. This was when? This was I think yesterday. Yes, yesterday during London session. This was pretty slow market, but we still got the nice delta flip, and we were also seeing longs are coming in for continuation, but they are getting trapped in the market. Plus we knew if we start losing into the 92,300s, you have more longs position into the highs, and then you will see deeper pullback. Yeah, this is the London session. We also saw spot market started selling after this was EPA, so there was lots of force buying, but since then we started to see downside. Yes, you can see the trade started going as I planned. I told after this I'm watching this candle carefully if the longs are getting trapped, and we did so, and then we started proper move to the downside and we started hitting those take profit ones. It was just beautiful scalp. Look at that, yeah, more selling, lots of profit taking. Let me show you in the chart, because sometimes I showed you the trades, but it was you know, not visible in the chart. I think it was this trade here. You can also classify this as a swing failure pattern of this high as well. You went only like you went to the upside for one, I would say two, yeah, just a few minutes you were spending time above, but you then quickly rejected. So it was also swing failure pattern of the Monday high, which was good. It's always area of interest for you, those key pivotal highs and lows. Yeah, look at that beautiful entry. And then we were heading into CPI New Zealand, and I had a nice hedge. I already had take profits, also keeping long from the 90k from the previous day. This is now showing you why hedging is very important. When you have risk event and you don't want to close long, but you also have reason to take short, of course you will be in both long and short, and short is gonna protect your profits until CPI New Zealand comes. And then this trade was actually main profit exposure to the upside when we started that breakout. Yes. And also, even if you didn't have any position from Monday, you could still be in CPI long. Basically we did 5-minute time frame. CPI was hitting market over here. We've got the rejection, but you only thing you did was taking out this low for nice thing value pattern. You grabbed lots of local liquidity build up, and you've got the long here. And this was your last exposure to the upside. So I was also participating on the upside. You can see we've got nice shorts getting trapped. You've got the positive delta flip. Here was the neutralization of the downside. Lots of heavy absorptions. You can see them also on Binance here. Look at that, yeah. And then we were strapping the short as well. And the heavy buy delta was coming into the market. So these were acceptable triggers for the trade. And the rest is history. We started just moving to the upside nicely. Then there were a few more trades of that session. I just don't want to go over mainly all the trading of today. And now one more thing I can show you is the current push when I was sleeping above 95k, what you could be doing. For 95k, I was telling our traders for a very long time, if I see strong reclaim on 95k or 95,500s, I would expect we will break out on higher time frames, and that's what we are getting right now when I just woke up. Yeah, here is the first message, second message. I also kept that swing long from Christmas at 40%. I was taking profits as well at the top of the range because we were shorting that high for the swing value pattern and another hedge. But I'm ready to add to that trade when Bitcoin is over 95k and is going to push into 97 to 100k zone. This is still from 6th of January, yeah, the post. Okay, let me go over now the current push and then we go to technical analysis. So 90 push over 95k, how you could be trading it, right? First of all, what you can see here, we can go to 50-minute time frame. Very good template here to see relative volume spikes. The reason why Bitcoin is getting so pushy over 94,895k is this is when we go to higher time frame, 30-minute time frame. It's top of our range. Yeah? We did only marginal swing failure pattern here, and the shorts liquidity from here was not taken properly. So there was like huge liquidity buildup. How do I know that? We have Tradingdifferent. There are estimates how the liquidity is positioned, and they are using one of the best algos. Zooming out, you see how Bitcoin become very impulsive to the upside, especially like this region started it, and then we've got that big push over all of the liquidity taken. So you pretty much expected huge weekend buying pressure happening in this full node. Do you see how perfect it is? Where we stopped? We actually went even beyond the node because people who are forced to buy Bitcoin and stopped out, they are buying into the week here. So very exhaustive here. You, by the way, could be shorting that move with the trend reversal template, which is one of the best templates for execution. And you also see 1.41 billion volume. This is huge volume. It's much larger compared to any previous candles of the previous days. This is also breakout volume. While you still above this candle, Bitcoin is looking really good for more upside. Lose this candle, like literally lose this candle, you will trap all the buying pressure. You also know big traders filled positions, and you can actually see more downside. But there was immediate entry. Let me refresh you. We are at 200-134 on trend reversal. It's I'm a bit sad I was unable to trade this because I was just sleeping, and it's okay. It's okay. I had alerts, but just preferred sleep actually, because I was waking up and I saw we are pushing over 95k easily, so I just went back to sleep. So here is our trend reversal candle. Look at that. We are seeing you trapped before you even move to the upside. You trap very large short. Yes, he got trapped and you started pushing. Look at the delta flip now. Bulls are getting into full control. Yes, very good volumes. And the positive delta flip and also a candle delta is in higher regions. Above 30, 40, 50%, this is showing you very strong control from the bulls. Look how we progress to the upside market, pushing almost no sign of weakness. No, like very weak sign of weakness from any bears. No big selling pressure. We push, now market is getting super fast. Even Exocharts is showing you 3-second candle, but this was happening in 1 second. Look here, we push. We go now into liquidity of 95k. The most crazy price action is starting. Heavy pressure. But look at the magic here. Look at the magic here. Do you see where first time bulls lost control? Whatever it was, even if it was the forced buying or just new open interest coming, but it was mainly just open interest going down, people getting liquidated and stopped out. Actually at the highs, we do see first sign of slowing down, and since the high, we now start to see first profit taking settling in, and we start to see first shorts getting into control. So even on such a huge impulsive move to the upside, this template was still showing you when it's time to take, if you want a very, very aggressive short. Yes, even here was even better. This was the first proper flip, because these candles are still, they are more wide. There is not huge volume trade. That is still more of a chop, lots of indecision. But this candle actually started to move to the downside, much larger volume, very good delta, at least 20% threshold, and then we started moving to the downside. So you actually could be shorting after you let all the bulls in control pushing. You could be shorting that weekend EPA, because this was medium time frame EPA. Medium time frame EPA, because these volumes are such huge volumes. Wow, that's crazy. Over 11k. Is it how much? Like over 100,000 transactions in this candle. That's pretty much insane, and over the volumes and everything. So very exhaustive, and if you wanted that exhaustive trade to be traded, you really needed this template. Yes, beautiful move. And now shorts are starting to get into control, and you are getting easy 1% move at least. Let me measure. When you were shorting that week, 1.70%. So even if you were entering a bit later after confirmation, you've got 1.70% in total, so maybe 1.44% for you, plus you've got the secondary rejection from here, and you've got another move to the downside. So you could be milking this area already. Bitcoin moves so abruptly and fills so much volume, is now very logical. There will be some distributions going on from option markets and from a general spot market. So yeah, if you were this template is making you patient. Look at that, going to the downside. Then we've got the bulls getting into the control a bit. You can also, if it's extreme volatility, you can also use this 400 to 228, but the more clean signals are definitely on 200, 1 to 4. It was much more clean to see, but even here you see how the momentum is stalling to the downside. Now you see more negative delta coming in, delta flip, and then the rest is history to the downside. But again, it's much more, for me, but it's much more easier to enter on this template, much more easier. Yeah, watching all these columns. So you've got that short in the week. You can be now, after take profit one for 40, I would say actually 60% take profit, definitely, if you were shorting that. Some of our traders definitely took the trade. They know how to use this template. You should be taking the take profit one and keep the trade as a hedge. In case we go below this candle and below this candle, this can then result into much larger downside move, because you will be trapping breakout volume. While you are doing range here or even here, is all okay, because the market will try to, assert the continuation to the upside. So yeah, we will see. So that was mainly, I showed you liquidity, I showed you Exocharts for execution, and then you can use other supportive tools for decision, which I'll be doing right now, because we need to look at Bitcoin from technical analysis, what we are trying to do here. By the way, we hit my trade area, so it was expected reaction here as well. Just start off that, yeah? Just beautiful. So traders, we can go over technical analysis. Let me show you what Bitcoin is trying to do in a 30-minute time frame. I was doing lots of calls from technical analysis. Many of them played out as I expected, but I can repeat you what I was posting in a Discord, of course, and it's good exercise for you to understand this. On 1 hour time frame, for me, if you want to actually see more upside, it was very crucial. Do you see this pink line, pink zone? Bitcoin in the past created huge support from this area, so it's actually still affecting Bitcoin. Look how many rejections we had in the regions. It's very crucial for me to stay above this white zone. Yeah, it's very wide, but for swing traders it's crucial. So it's like 89k up to 93k. So we get acceptance back into these higher regions where we don't have as much resistance. You can also see I don't have any market structure in the close proximity. So Bitcoin pretty much has empty room to be run. This was also impulsive move to the downside. So next good resistance from market structure points and areas is now this low here and the wider area, and also the closer low when we are breaking down. So the next resistance from this point is 98k up to 99,100k. On the back test, when I turn this off, we also were trading this previous range market structure as a support. That's why we are building longs here. Yeah, so it's very good. And on the back test, I would like to see this hold again, but I don't want to see too low pullback because it will negate all the impulse and it's gonna trap all the people who are trying for breakout. So we don't want to see that. And in the future, on any deeper pullback, like if you actually lose this low, it's gonna be pretty bearish. We will be rotating this range again. What you can still do, just without any technical analysis, make sure to be aware Bitcoin is still very good buy in the zone. Also, anything I say is non-financial advice and it's just education, entertainment. We have a weekend. This was weekend Christmas price action here. So for me, I have alerts here, and in case Bitcoin retests this region in the future, I'm watching to take trades in that. Plus, we still have these two lows as well ready for that. So these two areas, you watch a much deeper pullbacks in case we fail with the breakout. But again, you should already be in the short from the week. It was so easy to take that from with the Orderflow and with the Exocharts. Value areas, the local ones, it was pretty much obvious when we were trading in this range. We rejected here at the 6-day value, see the clean reaction, another new rotation. Of course, we were looking for longs here at the range val. AMT is ruling this world, is ruling most of the asset classes. Please do not ignore that, yeah? There was now another try, but it was pretty weak, and then we got finally proper acceptance into this range. So it was a matter of time. I was telling others, we are going to rotate this range at least, and then I actually went sleep when we were somewhere here. There was also scalp to be had from 6-day POC. There was okay-ish reaction. And now you see what we are doing from AMT, 1 hour time frame. We now completed, this one is, this level is older, I can hide it, but we had final range, like we had this impulse here, which I really like to see. I would like to see this from Bitcoin to be filled. But first we are reacting from, this is the final range on the breakdown, only few days, just like 3 days range. But you see how we stopped and why we stopped here. The back of that range was hit, so another profit taking region. And you did swing failure pattern of the highs of that range. So the bears, the bears pretty much know this is their last chance to be taking some nice shorts and also profit taking, and try to hammer us to the downside, because they know once you go over 96,600, you have this big region to be filled from 97 up to 100,600. Yeah. So yeah, there is reason why you are rejecting here. From medium time frames, Bitcoin become also very clear. Now we watch range which is forming for more than 1 month. We were actually for 3 months we were in this range. So it is so pleasant to see finally Bitcoin finding strength to the upside. And we know why we are pushing to the upside. We have crypto bill, very positive development for regulatory clarity. For if you were building longs in the regions and you were swing long with me from lower regions, we pretty much were watching if we are able to turn this 3-month high volume node into support on the backtest. Because again, losing this node, and I would be expecting new range rotation and also going into this smaller range. So 87k was the target, but we flipped this into support, which was great. And now you really wanted to see strong push over the 3-month VAH at 93k. We got that. So of course Bitcoin started to be out of balance. Distribution of the 3 months is ending, and now we are pushing, yes, away from the range. And we will see how we backtest these levels. where we will be creating new distributions. But ideally for Bitcoin, for keeping the momentum to the upside, is to just either push impulsively, continuation, or creating a new range outside of the 3-month range, which you will then create new floor for the more push to the upside. So it will be interesting to watch. I would like to not see Bitcoin getting back below 3-month VWAP, because again it can be pretty bearish, like this. All this volume and momentum was pushing to the upside and failed. For the future, again, remember 87k is region, but also you have the weekend Christmas liquidity here for 2 weeks, so it's gonna be like box for you, box of the area of interest. I expect this year to be very volatile, so yes, we will get swing trades, but many trades you will get round trip. You will simply have to accept this fact, because so many things will happen in 2026. It's going to create massive volatility to the downside and to the upside. Anchor VWAPs, we did what we wanted. These are the 2 most important anchor VWAPs on our chart. For me, I told our traders I do not expect further downside while we hold on pullback these key anchor VWAPs. Yeah, no more downside. So it was additional confluence when we are building longs in this zone. Beautiful hold. And you still have this medium time frame and high time frame anchor VWAPs. When we go to 2-hour time frame, they are actually trying to save the bull market for now. Every single anchor VWAP I have on my chart gave me at least big reaction on the first push. Here zone, here area, more of area, this one as well to the upside, and now we are hitting the bands, like multiple of them. These anchor VWAPs are coming from, look how old they are. They're actually tracking whole bull market. Yes, look at that. Since we started pushing to the upside, you absolutely don't want to lose this band. If you start losing this band, you will initiate much larger pushes into 60k for Bitcoin. So heavy spot buying is occurring here from long-term investors, because they are just playing for, for continuations to the upside. So I was pleasantly surprised we are holding all this area. This is the reason why we held such a nice pullback into 80k, right? Extensions, let's see if we have something interesting I can mention for you. Oh yes, we finally hit the target on the extension. This actually was waiting for us for a very long time. Initial reaction from 80k region was met with the nice impulse. We've got the first high, and then we've got the first pullback. Since that moment, you have that 1-to-1 extension. It was finally hit, so you see a bit of profit taking. So that's sorted out. And then to the downside, we are already hitting extension. Pretty much this high, this low, and this pullback. And we did 1.5 into 80k. It was just mainly confluence for to see more downside in case it happens. Summer range extension, you need to understand extensions. Actually, this works so well on traditional markets, but also on Bitcoin. This early summer range gave us 1-to-1 extension to the upside for the summer. This was huge deviation. You see many people got trapped in that green zone. It's going to be massive resistance moving forward, going into it. And then this range also gave us 1-to-1 extension zone to the downside. We even extended into the secondary extension. But you see now distribution, same like here, once we left this range, was happening here for a long time. And same thing is happening here. We just are trading this box. So knowing when to market forms new range is already half of the battle won, because then you can trade the extremes of that onto that box. And we have another one. This is secondary pull you need to combine with the pull I was just showing you. And we pretty much like this is giving me extensions and I predict where we form the range into 0.5 and 1-to-1 extensions. You can see Bitcoin on the main move to the down upside. Like look how many ranges I was predicting with this pull since the April lows. It was just too perfect, and I also break down this into smaller boxes. Here we were holding into the pink box really well, and now I told our traders once we start reclaiming 88,600s in the beginning of the year, I told them we will be focusing on trading new rotations in the yellow box, and now we are leaving the yellow box. So we pretty much want to stay and keep the momentum so we can do final like larger box 1-to-1 rotation into 100k again. Yes, the most bullish thing which can happen for Bitcoin is now new range in this box. Most of the time, like many times, Bitcoin is not moving impulsively like people wish. Yeah, you don't see this. You don't see this. You see how we are distributing for a long time. Yeah, we are searching, like even here distributions. So you need to really be able to predict where these distributions happen. And you also see one important factor in the future. We untested this, like we still have untested 82,500s. If you really want swing long, which is gonna be for you in the market for a few weeks, you also pay attention here, because these lows, when they will be taken out, you will complete the rotation of the box, you will fill the volume again. So be aware of that in the future, but for now it's not that likely, of course, because we push away 100k 100,700s. Watch that. We can be rejecting from 100k region as a overall, and then lose it and go below 100k, big resistance for us. We have some fips to the upside, semi-local. I think it was front run a bit. Yeah, just small front run, and we do see the reaction. Nice. We had 17,000 open interest increase here. 60% were shorts. So I do think we will see initial reaction from the box, because lots of people got trapped on the long side here, also from this market structure. But then if you want to see more upside, you need to reject and then reclaim and do this. You will trap all the breakdown. These are like late shorts, we can say. They will be forced to rebuy position backs, many institutional positions here. So this is very crucial to know when the open interest was increasing like that. Also, we had the new year open. I can show you the new year candles. I was doing analysis on that when that happened. Here, yearly. Sometimes you just have these bullish opens. Same like here, you open the year and then you started big push to the upside. Same thing actually happened here. We opened the year and then we never traded below yearly open. And I told our traders, this is reversal candle, yes, from traditional market perspective. But while you hold about yearly open and you will be holding in the body, and now when you start spending time above 93,371, it's pretty good for Bitcoin, because we can now start feeling the wick. Yes, so Bitcoin is looking very, very good and constructive while we are doing this. Losing a yearly open would be pretty bad for Bitcoin, because it means we can be feeling the wick to the downside on the yearly candle. But this is just huge time frame, yeah, so just take it with a pinch of salt. Let's move to higher time frame. Let's see if I did miss something. I didn't for now. Key levels. Key summer low is still waiting for the retest, and then we have this is like zone. You see how it was important for market to flip all these key market structures from AMT to the upside. Yeah, so many rejections. Very good. It was helping to the upside. And now, 8-hour time frame. This one we can hide. And you can see, even like, don't ever lose track of the larger picture. We can see Bitcoin is like it was one of the worst performing asset classes in the world, Bitcoin and crypto in 2025. And the reason was because we literally round tripped many gains from 2024. But ultimately we can see what is happening. We are still in the 1 year range. And the fight here, like bulls were defending heavily here, all those 3 month range or medium time frame and local ranges, they were fighting to hold the 1 year val. And you see what is happening right now, like potentially we are now doing rotation of this massive range. So just be aware of the higher picture, but also we do have lots of resistance on the way up. You can already see how Bitcoin, so yeah, I know this is 1 year high volume node, but you see the main volumes were transacted here, and you already see a bit of wick, and is reason why you are distributing in this range. So many people are trapped on the spot market, so you need time to breathe. But again, these distributions can be bullish if you don't start feeling single print of the push and just, you know, trapping people below 94k. If you moved, it would be pretty bad. So far for now is pretty constructive, but you see Bitcoin will be facing resistances from this one year range. I want to see, like, if you want to see much larger move to the upside, and this first 1 year high volume node needs to be reclaimed. We are getting scalp from the 1 year point of control, and then the next zone when you will be watching is 1 year POC, and like secondary high volume node with 1 year POC. Another resistance for Bitcoin is also aligned with the market structure, so you can be aware of that. Ultimately, I would, like, when you do swing longs, you know, 113k would be fantastic target. By the way, if we get here this first quarter, it can offer a juicy opportunity to go for a swing short. Maybe 115 to 113 will be something like that. We still have so many people trapped at the top of the Bitcoin, so this should be resistance ultimately, yeah, for push to the upside. You will see that in the Onchain when I will show you how many people are trapped there. Yes, so I think that's pretty much it from the technical analysis. Let me check macro channel. How is the market is still also fighting for that macro channel to be held. Yeah, look at that. There was a good defense. This channel is very old, but we are out of the main channel from, like, for the past 1 year. So we will see how we backtest this. I only use channel on very high time frames. But there was that good defense on that line. Very nice. The blue line I also had here because it got defended during April. So it's more of a like zone. You see here it was also zone. Yeah. So very good. Yeah. So that's pretty much technical analysis. We knew what we need to watch. I expect Bitcoin to be very volatile. We will be moving into, I can keep Onchain, I mean order flow at the end of the video. Let me check you the trade areas. Why these alerts here? You see I had the trade area here set. It's pretty wide, but I was expecting another reaction. The wick got into start of my trade area. It happened even here. When I do this, we also did same thing. We only kissed start of my trade area, and then we got the reaction. So same thing is happening here. That's cool. And now we can go to Onchain. Just want to mention a few things from our Discord as well. Onchain. We go to, yeah. So at the beginning of, like, Onchain, many metrics from Onchain, they take weeks to play out, but you can pay attention to them when you are in swing positions and even like day trade, because these things take time, and many market participants on crypto are watching only Onchain. They don't even watch technical analysis or order flow, nothing like that, because they are in the market for the long-term horizons. But what was really good when we were building the longs from New Year's inflow and after option expiry, we've seen the first time since August, we do see positive inflows coming from long-term hodlers. So this time we were flipping like inflows into the upside. So that was like pointing out for the relief rally. This is still pretty bad because we see USD Tether and USDC dropping heavily. You want to see this increasing in the bull market, so I'll be watching this metric in 2026. I will be showing you this live. A few more things I want to show you. Oh yes, this. We also see like the market capitulated into 80,000 because realized selling was hitting again back into the older level. So this was nice capitulation into 80,000. You can see mainly short-term people who bought Bitcoin for the past 6 months. They were capitulating and causing moves to the downside. But this was also very good when we are reaching below these thresholds here. We tend to see capitulation and relief bounces on Bitcoin. So this was another supportive factor to see that what we are seeing just right now. You can see many times in the past it happened. Yes, same thing. because so many people, you can even pause this and read, but many people who wanted to sell sold. Yeah, so you just can bounce on the relief. And another thing, which was also statistical evidence, these are the long-term holders. These are people who hold Bitcoin for more than 6 months. You can pause the video and read the whole article, but in summary, same thing as in previous cycle of 2022, we saw Bitcoin move from very, very positive levels into the neutral level, where we started to see high time frame, like these people who hold Bitcoin for a long time selling, and they started capitulation, because below 1 you start to capitulate. But before it happens, we've got the retest of the midline, so there was like big defense before it happens, and we've got a huge relief for the few months. So same thing is actually happening on Bitcoin. We've got into D1. Even on Trump, we've got the neutral threshold, and then we started bouncing, because before you got confirmed bear market, you are defending the one. Yes, people who are in profits for the long term, they still try to defend position, and also people are using it to load out the dips. So again, push right now from 3 months distribution to the upside into relief into 96, 100k, 105k is not a surprise. Very similar thing happened previous cycle. But what you don't want to see, and what will be actually triggering the bear market, is returning back into the low you created. For us is 80k, but also 75, and then moving down on the massive volumes. Let's say you lose like 74k. Very bad. This can actually trigger capitulation from market participants who bought Bitcoin in the middle of the cycle. Yes, because right now you destroyed people who bought the tops. But middle of the cycle capitulation happens from here. So I don't want to see 74k lost in that case. Then it can take 6 to 12 months for this long-term buyers to capitulate, and you will be crafting the bottom. You also see Bitcoin actually did one-to-one extension of the move. So first move to the downside, and then very similar one-to-one extension move to the downside. So we can easily end up at 50k for Bitcoin, and this capitulation will curve down into the end of 2026. So just be careful about that. What we do and what levels are lost is gonna dictate everything for you, for your spot portfolios, for your leverage. Very, very useful metric. Crypto quant I use more extensively. Like this year, I will be using more Onchain for my analysis, also more options and ETF inflows, and plus special advanced confluence, which will be shared only with our best traders in a group we trust. So it's going to be insane year. Even like execution is absolutely fantastic in our group. We can take most of the time non-losing trades, but how you manage trades after execution, again, is gonna affect what you do and how you perform. Few more things from Onchain. So we can I can hide order flow Onchain. I have only a few things I want to show you here. These are one of the most important metrics you can watch in the market. 200 DMA we can turn on, we don't need. So for me, many Onchain metrics are serving you for high time frames, but this one is serving you from medium to local time frames. True mean price is still Bitcoin bought. This was our support at 80,000. It's very good we are holding it, but again, I want to see what we do with the STH cost basis. These are the short-term hodlers who bought Bitcoin for the past 6 months. Currently is at 98k, I would say. It's very crucial if you want to see resume of the bull market to reclaim the line, same like here, build very likely multi-day, multi-week range, and then start pushing away from it. This is going to be excellent sign. We might be negating a bear market. But if we do see, let me show you recent history. And let me push this to like that. Oh yeah. If we are in bear market, because we are in market is not confirmed bear market yet, but if we are in bear market, we will reject around 98, 100k again, and then start trending below this for the long time. And the more time you spend below this, the more bearish it becomes. And what we do at 98k is gonna be very crucial, very similar to previous cycle. If we reject or reclaim, is gonna give us more informations. And on top of that, you can watch this. Is also pro of the STH is even showing us this better. You see in bear markets, we do like every single push to the upside is just briefly above 1. it's showing you like drowning people, like these drowning trap people on spot markets. Market is pushing, but the more sell side pressure from these trap people is just tanking market to the downside. You are unable to spend meaningful time above one and, you know, being green and do not harm people. So, and now right now if we zoom in, so look at the previous bear market, most of the time spent in the red. Any push to the upside was used to unload Bitcoin. Simply you trap people who were entering the area. Modern era, we can show you last year. Recent history. Yeah, last year. So you see now it pushed from 125,000, which I still run the short from. This was beautiful edge. We are spending lots of time below. Same like here during Trump, yeah. But you see how we resumed the bull market, reclaim of the STH, and then we started positively trending above it. So another big battle is coming, and another information, crucial information we need to see what we do with this cycle. And let me show you. Oh yeah, invested wealth. Right now, many people, like we switched. First of all, 67% of people were trapped from 95 to 126k, and like all the money ever spent on Bitcoin was in these regions. So right now we are untrapping those people. You can see 92. Yeah, we also are now untrapping all this. We don't have as many trap people in the region here. Yeah, look at that. 98k. It's not that hard for Bitcoin to push into 100 to 98,000. These distributions were not as large, but you know where the main resistance comes for us in 2026 is going to be this box from 105,000 to 115k. The biggest amount of people are trapped in this volume node. So I would not be surprised if Bitcoin puts secondary high time frame high in 105 to 115. Is very wide box, so we will use the intraday analysis and order flow to enter into such trades. But in case we get the relief rally, it can be limited. Yeah, it can be your last time you will actually be able to sell Bitcoin for the good price. It also depend on the macro. Yeah, if we get 20% pullback on ES1 as I am expecting later this year, or not. So yeah, very interesting, but very positive sign right now. We reclaim this first big node when so much money arrived into the Bitcoin. Very good. It's not as much resistance in here in these regions, just from people trapped. 98k is gonna give us information further. Okay, so that's pretty much on-chain. We can go. By the way, I was watching ETFs. We do see some nice inflows. I think when I refresh, not sure if we get data from yesterday, probably not. Oh yeah, we do get them. 13. Yesterday was huge inflows day. This was also helping us. You can even see past week we were having outflows, but Bitcoin was holding very good. So it was showing you absorptions. ETFs are not everything. They still create 25% or 30% of the global spot volumes. So just do not judge market only about them. But yeah, nice to see even after negative inflows we are holding well. Yesterday huge inflows. This can be start of something greater. So we will keep an eye on this, on the nice relief rally. Huge. You need such a big reversals for that. I think I have chart for ETF. So let me open the chart from here. Will be a bit higher. Yes. Okay, we are still far. You can see how people bought the 80k dip. This was a huge volume traded. No crazy volumes, but I think 7 is not updated. Oh yeah, it's weekly, so I need a daily one. But yeah, you will see it will be increasing nicely this week. Can close this. So that's ETFs done. Options. One more thing I can show you on the option market. This is because this is another reason why we'll be using options much more. This tool alone costs $1,000 a month. I'll be getting it for the group. But let me show you, even if you don't understand the options, let me show you like before we were dropping from 125k, 115k, 80k was huge barrier where smart money were betting Bitcoin will eventually reach, and once we got that, we are getting that big bounce into right now at 96,000. So option markets, I can show you directional interest, and also they are the smartest money in the world. Same like in April, 80 to 75k was our supports and we were bottoming. You also can see when the option market is showing you high volatility and also the distributions. Same like here, there was massive distributions after the push on the option market. So you put the April tops, and same another big tops were happening here with the option markets again, and supports were just holding really well. So don't sleep on options. I will do courses on this. They are powerful, they are amazing. We will do that. So what we can do right now is the on-chain analysis. This on-chain analysis will be valid for today, pretty much, or for the rest of the week, because some factors can be used that. So you can pretty much, so let me refresh this. We will start with the Exocharts. You can, again, I told you, you had reason to be shorting the week. You've got easy 1 to 2% move to the downside, super nice. Right now, you should be still keeping that short after take profit 1 in case we feel more single prints here. And you can be also scalping this range with the more short interest, because this was such a big volume to the upside. You know, big traders fill positions, so there can be a bit deeper pullback from that. And for the longs, of course, I don't want to long here because it's just too late. You already should be positioned from longs. I already shown you like few reasons to be long from 85k, 80k, 90k, even yesterday 92k. Many areas to be. Here is just too late longing. Yeah, market can easily fill the rest of the candle and trap you. So just longs not ideal here. Should be more of on the short side and just milking it. You look at that, another rejection. Let me refresh the order books on Market Monkey. Tradinglite died, so I'm now on Market Monkey. This is best, very good application. We do have discount link in the group, so use it if you want. Spot markets, you can see why we are actually holding the very small consolidation. 96k, huge sell wall added, so this is putting lead on the price locally. So if you were shorting the very local range, you've got the protection for your stop loss here, just beautiful. You already see market volatility is fantastic, so you got another trade, but you also have the smaller spot walls here trying to support you. How you feel them is going to be interesting. You see, if we lose, like if you start seeing and losing the high volume candle, this massive relative volume spike, if you lost that, we don't have much spot support, is pretty empty in the region unless they add, then 91k is going to be like, this region is going to be your support, 91 to 90k. Be careful about that. Yeah, bulls need to defend this really. If they fail, wow, move to the downside very likely. Perpetuals, layouts, perpetuals, they were trying to slow market down, then we've got the push. Perpetuals pretty empty since 10th of October. The order books got much more shallow and empty because the market makers got destroyed. 90k defended all perpetuals. Smaller wall at 96. Nothing special in the perpetuals. Pretty much spot market is dominating right now in this. We can still watch Coinbase if we want. This is third exchange I'm checking on a regular basis. BTC, spot. Need to make template for this. Yes, spot Coinbase is not supporting market much. Yes, it can, like in case we get like big selling pressure, we can go for the pullback. What you can see, actually, spot is distributing pretty hard on Coinbase. Coinbase is the second most important exchange on spot markets. 100k defended big time, and then another region here. You might get another rejection. So Bitcoin will be waving even if it will be uptrending. So yeah, very interesting. I would be already, if I would not be doing video, I would be already shorting this. Also, if I would be not sleeping, I would be shorting big time the week. Already would be in 2% profit, but don't worry, I'm in nice longs still, so making money on the upside as well. beautiful. If I see, by the way, if I see we are losing this push, yeah, this high volume push, if I see we are losing this, I will be taking more profit on my swing long. Right now, I'm not taking any profit because I don't see any sign of weakness. It's just healthy consolidation in the post big push. We need to see what the London session does, what the New York session does. And one more small tip for you traders, Mondays are very pivotal. Yesterday was Monday. When Mondays are starting trend, this trend tends to go into the at least into the like Tuesday, Wednesday. So Mondays are, that's why 60% chance we do establish trend on Mondays. This is statistical evidence. So very good to see continuation to the upside. So from liquidity, we already cleared that up. Yeah, beautiful. That's another reason you've got that short, because lots of force buying is out of the market. We can go to 50-minute time frame to see how is the liquidity positioned further, because I think that now higher time frame liquidity will come into play. We've had the impulse here, so these liquidity thresholds are not true. There is a bit more liquidity here, which might give local swing failure pattern, but yeah, not much in this region, because this was impulse. To the downside, of course, we know how we are positioned. In the future, we want to see this liquidity taken out eventually, and also this one. This is going to be our main swing long area, and then of course 80k. That's that. Let's see what is the spot market doing. Spot market, you do see some bearish absorptions, yes. So you see spot market was like very nice impulse, buying, but we did only like lots of spot delta was used, and we did only the like very marginal high here. Even compared to this, you've got like, you should be already at high here when you compare to this, and you are not. So there are some absorptions on the spot market, some bear CVD locally, which is helping you to be more on the short side in this local range. But you also pay yourself, of course, because in case of continuation. But yeah, you can be scalping this easily with this bear CVD. Nice. And now Exocharts. So Exocharts we did. Let's see, core 30-minute TPO. Oh yeah, single prints. We go to Bybit. In case you lose this low, you can be aiming to fill the single prints. This should be another goal. You see how the volume profile is pretty set. Yeah, you should be like, I'll also tell you open happened here. We can be looking for filling this single prints and the profile later on in case there is weakness. But again, you need to lose this high volume candle first. For now, it's not happening. We can move to TRDR to see how are the things going. We will start with the order books. So you see there is a nice distribution, and our spot sell side is pressuring market. I've shown you on Coinbase and other exchanges there is lots of heavy selling leading into 100k. So even if Bitcoin continues higher, it's not going to be easy. You will need heavy spot volumes. It's very likely even if you push to the upside, there will be distributions, yes, the pullbacks, then push to the upside. Just heavy sell side cannot be taken super easy. You can watch tape surf to see how are the order books distributed on the key exchanges. Yeah, pretty much every big number is protected. 97k now protected on Binance and Coinbase. Can be another trade. 98k also. Yeah, there is a heavy distribution. That's the reason why you see the bands. Look at the buy side, pretty empty. If someone would be like selling 1000 bitcoins rand, he would be crashing the price. The proper support for us for today, no matter the volatility, is at 90k to 91k. Yeah, especially from Binance. Look at those walls on the spot market, beautiful. And the sell side, like the strongest sell side to the upside for today is at 98,000. Exchanges aligned very good. Yeah, these almost all key exchanges are aligning there. And then you've got the big protection 100k. I expect there will be force buying about 100k. Maybe we push to 100,500, 100,700, and then you backtest the 100k level. And if you lose this, then it can be a much larger rejection. If you reclaim 100k, you will be going further to the upside. I can't wait to trade this big barrier number. I'll be guiding traders live for that. So these are the distributions. So I'm not surprised we do see a bit of consolidation here, again with such pressure. It's also helping you to scalp this range, to pull some nice juicy scalp shorts, which can become day trade if you see the weakness. And we do see finally that proper big push, almost 3 billion push on aggregated volume. That's cool, that's really nice to see. This is biggest volume influx. That's why in case you trap such volume, this is going to be juicy short for you. You will feel the candle, so we will see what we do. Liquidations definitely must be high. Oh yes, they are. Oh, okay, almost 73 million. That's decent. Yeah, you know, when the high liquidations happen, you also have chance to take counter trade. This was additional confluence. Open interest got round trip, but I don't see any like big open interest round trips from higher time frames. CVD pushing to the upside, very nice. Coinbase and Binance going together. The strongest bumps in the market we do get when the Coinbase and Binance are going together, but especially Binance, because Binance is still doing 65% of the global volumes, like here, yeah. But of course Coinbase is aboard that push as well. You can see even if you are pushing, it's not easy for Bitcoin to just push so easily, because we have so many sell walls here. So this can actually be, this is going to be very interesting area. Maybe we'll be getting exhausted in the area, then get another move to the downside. I will be very much aware of this. Again, this is our support for today or for the rest of the week. Funding rate got even negative. This actually played out, I think. People were shorting too much. Yeah. You see the leverage was shorting too much here. And they got destroyed with the push to the upside, and now leverage is neutral compared to spot market. They got destroyed, market chilling. Classic. Open interest RSI is not disappointing us. These rotations from overbought to oversold conditions, very good. Like here, when we're taking the short 95k, super overbought conditions, similar to here. Right now we are getting again into these conditions, so be careful. Yes, and the perpetuals are protecting that 97 to 98. This can be another defense region. I might be looking for another trade here. Spot market visual. More spread to the upside, yes. Current high getting protected. We might get swing failure pattern from the week later on in the session. Whale was stopping us, and whales are protecting the 90 to 90k. In this template I see only the big orders on the spot market, and in the future, in case we get a much larger move to the downside, you see how the whales were placing massive limit orders here. So 82 to 79,500. Future big swing long area. You must have massive alerts here. I even have some limit orders here, to be honest. Yeah, that's it from me. Okay, I went over multiple aspects for Bitcoin. Many of our traders made money on the move to the upside. I also made that nice money. I was positioned in spot market, in the leverage, of course. I explained you why. And now we will be trading what is happening in front of us. Yeah. So thank you for watching, traders, and there will be new update next week. If you want to learn how to trade, just join us. By the way, I can show you. I will be doing analysis in 2026. I was doing the updates here. This is how I'm doing currently the analysis for Bitcoin, and it's super complex, and it's very high estimate rates what's going to happen on Bitcoin every single day. If you want to be part of it, if you want to trade with us, join us. Thank you for watching, traders, and bye in the group. See ya.